I think you already know, but I have a cookbook out, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, Eat, Love, Gather. You can find the link right here in this slide to get it over there on Amazon. And there's plenty of room that if you want to make any adjustments to the recipe for your own liking, you can. And just go to the link here and get my cookbook, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, Eat, Love, Gather. Hey, hi, I'm Amy Roloff, and I'm in my little kitchen, so I'm so glad you guys are tuning in. I have not made one of these in so long. A lot of these recipes I haven't made in so long. Sometimes, I don't know, I didn't make it for myself, or I didn't have a reason to, but my daughter is in town, and I am making kind of like a late lunch for us. You can really have this at any time, but I'm just making it for lunch. So what is it? Of course, what is it? I talk a lot leading into what I'm making. I am going to make like a grain rice bowl. I think when you do a grain bowl, it's got a lot of great healthy stuff going on. I'm using I have brown rice cooking on the stove over here, and I'm gonna get ready to make the dressing so that all the flavors of that have a time to kind of mingle up. But we got a lot of veggies going on. So I've got some local tuna. I'm using good, well, I think it's good albacore canned tuna. Of course, if you have the luxury of maybe having leftover fresh tuna, that's always best. But I think a bowl, a rice bowl or a grain bowl or something like that, you can really, put anything you want with it. If you don't like certain veggies, don't put those veggies in it. You could switch out the protein like chicken or a different kind of fish, or maybe even steak. And I think depending on the protein, sometimes can depend on the type of veggies you want. So anyway, for this, I'm gonna definitely use a little bit of avocado. That's kind of good fats from what I hear. Just because it adds color, I'm gonna add in some cherry tomatoes. Whoops, one got away. A little, half of a hard-boiled egg. An English cucumber, I like that because it's not as tough. It's, the skin isn't as tough. You don't necessarily have to peel it. A little bit of celery. I thought and you know what? I'm really using some leftover veggies because I'll be gone for a few days and didn't want to leave all this for Chris. Anyway, I'm kind of using leftover veggies. So I'm gonna slice up some red onion very thinly as I can. Some yellow pepper, some radishes, some snow peas. Oh yeah, I forgot to get out a few of the bean sprouts. And I have leftover grated carrot from the carrot cake that I made. So hopefully you've watched that video and have that recipe. And I think that's about it. So like I said, there's other veggies you can add to this. It's just really, what do you like to do? So let's get going and make the dressing. So this dressing, I'm kind of really making it in this little thing here. This little jar with a little handle. Kind of reminds me of like a canning jar or those canning looking jars that are made into cups. So this is kind of just a smaller one. But I like it because I can wash the lid and I don't have to keep changing it out. But yeah, so we're gonna make the dressing in here. It's not a lot of dressing because I'm only making this for just Molly and I. So if you wanna make into, larger quantities, just increase your quantity. So let's get started here. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil in here. Oh, maybe a couple of tablespoons. A little bit of toasted sesame oil, not a lot because it's powerful, but definitely this will add flavor. And I just thought with the tuna and some of the veggies, it'll just, I don't know, taste good. So, I don't know, about a teaspoon or two of sesame oil, maybe just a little bit more. About a teaspoon or so of sesame oil. I'm gonna add a little bit of acidity. So I'm gonna add a little bit of red wine vinegar. I'd say about a half a teaspoon, not a lot. And you know what? I forgot the soy sauce. Here we go. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of soy sauce. Well, I'd say about a cup, at least maybe a tablespoon. I'm hoping this will taste good. Where's my salt? Add a little bit of salt in here. I don't want to add a lot of salt because the soy sauce already has a lot of salt. But I'm just gonna add a little bit. And garlic. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add fresh garlic. I could add garlic powder, but I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh garlic. So let me get that too. Okay, so I've got a little bit of my garlic going on here. I don't know where my smaller knife is, but just do that. I'm gonna try and really mince it up because it is going in the salad dressing, so I don't want to do that. And because I love garlic, these are little tiny, I don't know, I think smaller cloves, so I did kind of a larger one. And then I'm gonna do definitely 3 smaller ones. But if you don't like garlic, don't put garlic in here. Or if you think garlic powder will work, that's gonna work fine too. It's one thing I love about cooking. You can definitely, you know, make it into your own. So I'm just gonna slice this up. There's another one. Okay, if I can get the skin off. I should really pre-do these. And I'm just gonna try and mince about. I'm so focused, aren't I? So focused on this chopping and mincing. Okay, I think that's good. We're just gonna use this knife. Then I put all the garlic in there. What else do I need? You know what, I'm not gonna add fresh ginger, but you could just add just a tad of fresh ginger, but I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger powder. Hopefully it won't come out. That's about enough. Oh, 1/4 teaspoon maybe. And then some crushed red pepper just to give it a little bit of heat. That's about enough. And I'm just gonna add maybe about a 1/2 teaspoon of honey. That's enough. Okay, let's shake this all up and find out what else I need to it. Let me get a little spoon. Okay, let's see how this is. Ooh, I think it tastes pretty good. I'm gonna add just a little bit more of soy sauce. Just a sprinkle of salt, a pinch of salt. What else did it need? Maybe a tad more of honey. And I'm just gonna add in just a little bit more of ginger, and I think I've got it. So maybe we'll slide it up to a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Here we go. Okay. You know what's so funny? Is that I already had my measuring spoons out here, but I just winged it. Oh yeah, so much better. Okay, my dressing is made, so let's get chopping. Okay, we are back. We just made our salad dressing for our kind of tuna grain veggie bowl. So I am going to get chopping here. First of all, let's get our tuna prepped. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add 2 cans of albacore tuna, and I have tuna packed in water, not the oil. If you want the oil, you can, but I just wanted this really more fresh and not that extra element to it. So I've got canned tuna here. It's a local tuna, Pacific Northwest. Hang on. And I kind of just want it in big chunks and not all, you know, kind of more chunked up as if you're gonna make tuna salad sandwich or something like that. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna want 1 or 2 things of tuna. But you know what? I'm gonna start off with 1. I think 1 should be enough for both Molly and I. I'm just gonna drizzle this a little bit. What we're gonna do is, I've got 1 clove of garlic chopped up. You know I love garlic. What else I was gonna do? I'm gonna add just a hint of ginger. I just wanna flavor the tuna up a little bit. If you just want plain tuna, regular, just out of the can tuna, I mean, feel free. That will definitely work as well. Oh, I want to zest this. I know I have to get a new zester. My other zester broke. The handle covering came off, and now the handle's all sticky and, ugh. Anyway. Sorry, I had to find my zester. I'm gonna zest a lime. Maybe just about a half a lime. I don't want it. There we go. I'm just gonna do a half a lime. Just to add a little moisture to it. I think I might have to get my squeezer out. I don't know, this might be enough. Limes are just a little bit harder than lemon. I think I'm gonna use a spoon to kind of mix this all up. There we go. Just gonna add just a hint of salt. That's it, just a hint. Let me get a spoon. Just gonna mix this in a little bit. So I've got some big chunks. Obviously, some of the tuna is falling apart, but that's okay. That might be a bigger chunk than I want. So yeah, just dressing up the tuna a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put a little oil on here. I don't want sesame oil because that's already in the dressing. I'm just gonna drizzle this just a little bit. Now you're gonna ask me, why don't I like oil? Tuna in a can with oil. Because I think this way you can control your oil, and I like olive oil. But the oil that's in the can tuna may be the natural oil that you get from tuna. Tell you the truth, I'm not sure. But I think this will work well. Okay, we're just gonna set that aside. I'm just gonna slice up my tomatoes, fresh cherry tomatoes. I'm so excited. Our farmer's market is gonna be opening up this weekend. I can't go to it this weekend. So I am going to go next weekend. Here's just some tomatoes. There we go, that's ready to go. Like I said, already chopped carrots. I'm not gonna need all of this. If I didn't already have shredded carrots, what I really like in the carrots is the ribbon carrots. You know, just use a peeler and you do like little ribbons of carrot in there. I think that would be good, but I had that in my fridge, and so that's what I'm gonna use. And I just thought a little color of thinly sliced radishes would be good. This is a big knife. I really like the shorter version, the shorter blade version of this. And like I said, it's only the two of us, so I don't mind cutting all these veggies up for just Molly and I. That's okay. Oh, and you may be wondering, why isn't Chris gonna have some? Well, I think it's because a lot of the veggies. If it probably was just tomatoes and cucumber, he would probably be okay with it, which I could have done. But we had leftover hamburgers, so he made himself a hamburger. A hamburger on the grill, which, hey, that's a pretty good lunch too. Okay, can I slice that one up more? No. Okay, that's enough radish for this. So I got tomatoes, carrots, radish. Let's do a celery. Okay, we're gonna dump this all in here. This is gonna be my little garbage. Got too much stuff around here. I'm just gonna slice this up really thin. You know what I'm thinking about doing is finding some people that I really like to follow. Sometimes they have like their cooking skills or like knife skills or, you know, things like that. So I might take a few of those because I figure you can always learn from other people. Oh yeah, this is better. Should have turned the celery around a while ago. Okay, that's about enough of a celery for us. And I think it'll be enough. I mean, we've got a lot of vegetables going on in here, so. And this is a late lunch. I was supposed to be back from the store sooner than I am now. I'm just gonna try and get this as thinly sliced as I can. And no, I do not have a mandolin. I know, it's crazy, huh? Get that yellow piece out. Okay. Just breaking it up, the onion, so you don't get a whole big piece. That'll be too much onion flavor. I don't know, I'm excited for this. I haven't had a bowl in a long time. And I don't know, I just thought this would be kind of fun and good. It's so fresh. Oh, and talk about a fruit bowl. Like you could have, I don't know, maybe like a, what is it, bayberry bulgur? And make a fruit bowl. Maybe with a little, not creme fraiche, maybe ricotta. I personally think ricotta is a little sweet. So I wouldn't mind putting ricotta or a little bit of cottage cheese with a fruit bowl. The fruit will sweeten it up. I think that's enough red onion for us. So we got red onion here. Let me clean up my mess. save this little bit of onion for later. There we go. Here we go. Little yellow pepper. And if I'm squinting, it's because my eyes are watery. I'm just gonna cut out some of the thicker part of this yellow pepper. I think the yellow pepper will really, and again, I'm gonna try and thinly slice this. I think half of a bowl is your dressing. What really makes a bowl to me is the dressing and the presentation and how you present it. Because with all of the colorful vegetables, that is so eye-appealing. And who can't have more veggies? One thing I may do to this that I don't have here is I might add a little bit of spinach, fresh spinach. So we got that. I certainly hope I have a, okay, let's see here. It's a lot of prep, but I tell you, it will taste very good. And I don't mind. Another great thing is shredded cabbage. So I'm just gonna kind of take the little string part off of the snow peas if I can. So I'm gonna finish prepping up the vegetables and I'll let you know when I'm done because I got a few more things to do, okay? Okay, I think I'm ready to serve it up. I hope these are good bowls. I was gonna put it in another bowl and it's a little bit deeper, but because of all of this, I kind of wanted the vegetables to spread out a little bit. And this is only a lunch and not a whole full-fledged like for dinner, which you could. Or I was gonna put it in this big bowl, but I didn't think it was deep enough. I try and have a variety of dishes, but sometimes it doesn't always work out, but we're gonna do it here. So let me get the rice from the pan and then we'll be able to go. Okay. And with this rice, I put a little bit of oil and salt in the water, but I also added a little bit of ginger. Let me have a little bit of a bite. Oh yeah, this is really good. Okay, I think my rice is done, finally. I forget that long grain brown rice seems to take a lot longer, and I'm always, I don't know why this is, I'm always uncertain, you know, how long it'll take to cook, and it seems to take longer because I just tasted it. And I'm like, okay, this has too much of a crunch to it. So I'm thinking I didn't have the heat. It was, I brought it to a boil, went down all the way to the lowest that I could get, you know, the oven temperature or the stovetop temperature. And I think that was too low because I had to add a little bit more water to have it cook longer. So anyway, even well, I mess up a lot, but I often have some redos. So we've got some of the rice here going on. Just gonna put a little bit here. And like I said, I mean, if you were, like if this was a full-fledged meal, you would make more or add more. I don't know. I just need a little bit. And then I thought that would be really kind of cool on top of the rice would be some spinach leaves. For some reason, I don't like the stems, the long stems. And that'll provide like a little bed for the tuna fish to lay on. I think that'll be cool. Just a few more. Like I said, I don't know. And the long stem, I'm like, the stem's probably really good. It adds a little crunch. But for some reason, I don't know, I don't like it. All right, now we got that. I'm gonna put some of the tuna fish on here. There we go. This is not, you know, that hard to make. A lot of it is just chopping up all the veggies and getting a dressing that you like. Okay, there we go. Boy, Molly was right. I only need 1 can of tuna. Okay, there we go. Tuna there. Now for all the toppings. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of celery here. I might just put a little bit of red onion on top. Kind of dresses this up. Oh, what I should have had was parsley or cilantro, and I do have that. A little bit of radishes in the other corner. Then I'm going to do tomatoes on the opposite side. Cucumbers. Oh yeah, this is going to be so nice. More radishes. Okay, a little bit of carrots. I'm going to put a little bit of shredded carrots right there. A little bit of snow peas right on this side. Just a little bit, just a few. Oops. Then I'm going to put a little bit of avocado. Celery and radishes. Oh well, I think I messed up here, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I wanted them both to look the same. And so what else do I have? Oh yeah. Little yellow. Oh, the yellow brightens things up too. Just a little bit of yellow pepper. Okay, by golly. Let's get a little bit of the dressing on. And then I'm just going to drizzle this over a little bit. There we go. Now, where did my sesame seeds go? I know I had sesame seeds out here. Oh dear, there's so much here, I can't find them. Okay, I'm gonna be right back because that's the topping. Okay, I found my sesame seed. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on, along with just a few, I think it's cilantro. I think cilantro will be good with this. Parsley too, though. And here you have it. A tuna grain veggie bowl. I hope she likes it. Molly, come on over here. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to add the egg on it. Can't forget the details, people. There we go. Did you want to come over here? No? Can you be in my video?
Wow, look at these.
You might have to sit down, no.
I like the little sesame deal.
Here you go.
Wow. These look delish.
I know, do you think, is this what you were envisioning?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was envisioning.
Yeah.
So there's rice And then there's spinach and the tuna sitting on top of there.
And then fresh veggies.
Yeah, just fresh veggies. I didn't cook anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you had steak or something like that, you could do something, but the rice is warm. But yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
So yeah, we can go outside and eat. So anyway, you can find this recipe over at my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. But from my little kitchen to yours, and I'm so excited to do this for my daughter, Molly, you can find this recipe and all of the others over on my YouTube channel or Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. So this is a tuna grain dish up Chris over here. Kind of, there we go. And then we're just gonna have a nice green salad, and then this will be my little piece. Hey, hi you guys, this is Amy Roloff in Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. Oh my gosh, I just realized I don't have an apron on. I'm gonna have to go get one because I usually do not cook without an apron. Anyway, I feel like it's been a while since I've been in my kitchen. Got back from Palm Springs with my two girlfriends, Lisa and Deb. And I tell you, the next 4 days, I felt very unmotivated. I am not sure why. So I think I'm back into it. Back into my kitchen, my little comfort zone, and I'm pretty excited about it. It was a gorgeous day out here in the Northwest Portland, Oregon area. So I did a little bit of gardening, and I'm here to tell you, I'm not exactly a gardener. That's why I love farmers markets. Anyway, but I do love herbs, and I really love fresh herbs, and they can be very expensive, you know, in the grocery store or whatever. And so if you do have a chance to go out to your farmers market, you know, throughout the summer, go do it, you know, and buy from them, local farmers. They put a lot of time, work, effort, everything into growing what they do. But anyway, so really all I have is my herb garden. However, I don't think my parsley came back very well. It came up, you know, too stalky and stuff like that. My oregano, it's like, why aren't the leaves like green, like springtime green, but they look like it was already in the middle of summer towards late summer. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my rosemary, it's like, wait a minute, you should be like this like green, this hearty, foresty green type of rosemary. No, it had a lot of yellow. Oh, I was so bummed. And because we don't have the best soil here at the house. I mean, the farm really didn't have the best either. That's why raised beds were good. Anyway. So I do have my herb garden in pots. So I'm digging out. I mean, the roots look good, but the plant didn't. So I'm ripping all those out. Got some new oregano plants, chives, parsley, thyme, rosemary, basil. I have some mint. A little bit of lavender, but I don't think it's the eating lavender. So anyway, I'm gonna start off with that. So I don't have them planted yet. It took enough of a workout to dig all the dirt out of the pots and stuff like that. So the whole point being is I just came in from out of there, prepped a lot of stuff here, and this is gonna be a very, very simple chicken dinner. Because it's already late here and I didn't want something that took up a lot of time. So I was talking to some of the people that, you know, kind of helped me out like in putting up the videos and social media. And so they suggested lemon pepper chicken. I thought lemon pepper chicken. Lemon goes great with chicken. I love chicken piccata, lemon chicken. So we're gonna have lemon pepper. So what do you think the ingredients are? Lemon and pepper, a lot of it. So that's what we're gonna have today. I pounded the chicken. I did not, because this was last minute thinking, so I did not like slice the chicken in half. A lot of times that doesn't work for me. I'm trying to slice it, you know what? I probably should get my knife sharpened. That would be the key. Anyway, it always comes out uneven. So really what I did here, I pounded it. And sometimes pounding it very thin because you really want a thin chicken here. Because this is going to cook up very quickly. Probably about, especially with what I've done here, maybe 3 to 5 minutes on each side and you're done. The sauce will be nice and lemony and butter. Maybe I'll add in a little bit of chicken broth to kind of round it out a little bit. And then I've got some minced garlic here. I didn't have already made lemon, pepper, salt seasoning, so I'm making my own. So I zested about 2.5 lemons here. They were left over in the fridge. So I've got that. Minced up about 2-3 cloves of garlic. Here's the juice from the lemon. So that's gonna be incorporated in the sauce, which will taste really good. And we're just gonna really do a simple penne pasta. I think linguine or angel hair would really work well here. But I thought, okay, let's carry it over from the chicken and let's go with a lemon pasta. Rice would be great here as well. I think in a video, cooking video I did, I paired it with the Mediterranean, why I can't pronounce it, I have no idea. Anyway, I made chicken thighs with the Mediterranean spices and I paired that with lemon rice because lemon is used a lot in that kind of cooking too. I didn't do a lot of olives because Chris doesn't like olives. Anyway, so you could pair this with rice too, but I thought pasta will be good. And then I'm just gonna have a green salad and that's really our dinner tonight because I've gotta get going. With it staying lighter out now, I'm like, wait a minute, isn't it just 5:30? No, people, it's 7:30. We're gonna be eating late tonight. Oh dear. I think I'm gonna have to have a glass of white wine. First of all, let me get my apron on. Okay, so I've got my chicken pounded, or if you are very good at this, have very sharp knives, which reminds me, probably should have sharpened mine a little better. I just pounded this out, or you can just slice the thick piece of chicken in half, and that'll help thin it out as well. Okay, I'm gonna finish up zesting this lemon here, because I wanna make sure I do not waste any zest on this lemon before I juice it. Now for me, this handy dandy little device I absolutely love because with smaller hands, not as long fingers, people, I cannot squeeze it with my hand. Oops, don't put it in the zest, Amy. So we're just gonna squeeze. You know, this is really gonna sound terrible, but every time I squeeze a lemon like this, I think I should do my butt exercises, get my butt in shape. Why that came to my mind, I really don't know, but it did. Sorry about that. But I love this device. I love it. Okay, we had a small interruption because Chris got a phone call. Anyway, so where was I? Okay, I finished juicing the lemon. Here's lemon zest. So let's go ahead and make our lemon pepper. And if you already have the seasoning mix already, you know, like you bought it in the grocery store, just add about a tablespoon, maybe 2, in about a 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/3 cup of flour. But it really depends on how much chicken you have, because we're just gonna lightly flour the chicken, but we're gonna season our flour. Wait a minute. We're gonna lightly flour our chicken, but first we need to season our flour before we do the chicken. So, okay, we have, let me see here, yeah. Here, we're gonna do about 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. I'm gonna reserve just a little bit. Let me get a fork, that'll work well. Because obviously the lemon zest is wet, so the flour will kind of get it all in there so you don't have all these different clumps. So I have about 2 big tablespoons of lemon zest. Hopefully you get enough. And this came from 2.5 lemons. So here we go. Oh, now Felix has got a toy. Yeah, I haven't played with him at all today. That's his signal like, hello, I'm bored. Where's my pepper? Then we're gonna do like, because this is lemon pepper. We're gonna do, look at that, lots of pepper. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and add all of the lemon zest. We're gonna just make sure that this gets all incorporated in the chicken. And whatever else is left over, it's gonna go in the salad dressing because we're having a green salad. Salt. Where is salt? Here's salt. And the one thing I really like about making your own is that you can really kind of monitor the salt, but we're gonna try and balance this out. So maybe a tablespoon of salt. Let's stir this all around. I think the pepper's gonna make me sneeze. Oh dear. Okay, I just really want to mix this all in. So, like I said, so the lemon zest gets all the flour on it and it's not in clumps. So each piece of chicken definitely will have pepper, but also will have the lemon zest. Okay. Let's get our pan heated up and we're gonna go over to the stove and start doing our chicken. Okay, I have my pan heating here and hopefully it'll be hot enough. And because this is a Teflon pan, I'm not gonna put a lot of oil because I really want the chicken to brown. And to tell you the truth, I really hesitated on my other pan, which is stainless steel, for this. Because the chicken is so thin, I didn't want it to stick to the pan. And my pasta's almost done. This is almost done. Okay, this is where I need patience. I thought it was a little more, I thought it was more hot than this. So we'll just give it a moment. Oh yeah, now it is. Whenever you can see the oil, it looks like it's shrinking up or going to the side, that means we're good. I'm gonna turn my pasta off for a minute. Okay, so we got our lemon, floured lemon here. We're just gonna make sure maybe I should have dried. You know, I think I'm gonna wet the chicken just a little bit so the flour has something to adhere to. Sorry about that. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. I wanted the flour to really stick to the chicken, so the chicken needed to be a little wet. So as you can tell, some of these pieces are big, some of them aren't. They're not gonna look all pretty and nice and evenly like shaped, but you know what? It's still gonna be good. So I'm not gonna get so hung up that they're not all perfect. First one in there is probably already done. So what did I say? Just about 3 or 2 minutes? 3 minutes on each side. Make sure some of that oil gets all over every piece. And if you need to put a little oil on it, go right ahead. Especially for the other side. So I'm gonna test this out here. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit oil, a little more oil. Kind of get that going. It's on high heat. Anyone ready? Is anybody ready? No, not quite. I don't want to crowd this though. But they're such small little pieces. Here we go, one of the two last little pieces. Oops, you know what? I'm gonna have to wait till these are done. Let's see if we can flip them over. Nope. Now we can. Kind of a nice golden brown. Flour definitely is soaking up. Okay. So once these are done, I'm gonna do these last two and then that's it. So Chris has joined me and guess what? He's hungry.
I'm nibbling.
Yes.
What are you doing next?
Okay, what I'm doing next, I'm gonna saute the garlic a little bit here. So I have about a tablespoon or more, just a little bit of olive oil, some of the juices from cooking the chicken. Just gonna, oh, you guys, I would stick 5 more cloves in here if I could.
I like the smell of that too.
Maybe I should make this garlic chicken, huh?
No.
No? Oh, it'd be so good. I'm just gonna add just a tad more butter. And I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of chicken stock in here. I'd say about 1/4 cup. So basically what we're doing is going to make a little bit of a sauce. This will thicken up a little bit, and because this is all about lemon pepper, guess what, babe?
Yeah?
Can you hand me that lemon juice over there?
I can.
Thank you. They can't see you because you're so tall. But anyway, about a tablespoon or more. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. I'm just gonna heat this up a little bit, and then we're gonna add the chicken. Oh yeah, see how it's just slightly thickening up. Isn't that kind of funny how that works?
That is funny.
I tell you, the butter. Oh, butter. Butter is the...
No margarine, huh?
No, butter. Butter. To me, butter is like, almost like the diamond of cooking. And olive oil. Olive oil is good. So, I've got the brown chicken. I'm just going to kind of nestle these in this little sauce here. I've got my pasta is done, and so all I have to do now, this is a little hot. All I have to do now is finish up the salad. And it's not a lot of sauce. I mean, if you want it more, it's, you know, you can do that. You just want a little bit. And I've already done, I've already put a little bit of lemon juice in the pasta. And see all those juices? Oh, feel free to add those. That's all about flavoring. Flavoring, babe.
Boy, I'm going to have a lot of dishes to do tonight, aren't I? I get to do cleanup.
Oh, and you know what? I am so grateful that Chris does clean up. Because, you know, when you do all of this, meaning not cooking, but a lot of the video, when you're doing all this video yourself.
Well, I'm happy to do it. My cleanup is a fraction of the time that you put into making it. You know?
Well, babe, I'm hoping this is good, so.
Well, this smells good.
Anyway, we're almost ready to eat.
Oh, good.
Oops. And there we have it. Just a little bit of sauce on there. You know, just scoop it a little bit with your spoon, just so each little piece has some of that lemon flavor. Because the title is Lemon Pepper Chicken. Oh, so good. Okay, the chicken is done. I'm going to kind of look at that. Isn't that a nice brown lemony pepper? I already tasted a piece. I think it tastes very good. And so the pasta, I just had penne pasta in my pantry. I didn't want to open up a big, I think linguine or angel hair would have been very nice on here. But I used some of the pasta water and I used some of the leftover lemon juice that I didn't put in with the chicken and butter. And so the pasta is also incorporating that lemon flavor along with butter. I mean, who can resist butter? And then just a little parsley to dress it up. So I am going to go ahead and dish up Chris over here. Kind of, there we go. And then we're just gonna have a nice green salad, and then this will be my little piece. And so there we have it. We have lemon pepper chicken with pasta. I hope you give this a try. So from my little kitchen to yours, I hope you keep enjoying gathering around your kitchen table. So find this recipe over on my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, or you can go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com. So I hope you give this a try. It's a very simple recipe. It's quick and it's very, very good. So here we have it. We have boneless chicken thighs, Mediterranean spice, boneless, skinless chicken thighs with quinoa, lemon, quinoa, rice and quinoa, lemon with parsley, garlic, and onions, and then a little tossed salad. So anyway, from my little kitchen to yours. Hey, hi, I'm Amy, and I'm back in my little kitchen, and I'm so excited as always. I'm getting ready to make dinner for Chris and I, because that is my life now, just Chris and I. I love it when my kids come over, but they don't come over every day. Anyway, so I'm making dinner for Chris and I really wanted to kind of figure out, you know, something else to do with chicken. And so I looked on the internet to figure out what are some of the Mediterranean, I don't know why I can't say some words right. I mean, I get so tongue-tied, it's crazy. Mediterranean spices. And so, you know, what's a good combo or whatever it may be. And just, I don't know, kind of do something different. I'm debating whether to put like a Greek garlic dill sauce with it. But I've got 4 chicken thighs, boneless chicken thighs right here. Good, rich in flavor, so good. And so what we're gonna do is maybe marinate this for about 30 minutes. I would recommend an hour or more. I just don't have that time right now, but I would definitely probably do it for about an hour. But I'm only gonna do it for 30 minutes. So what I'm gonna do first is, where did my juicer go? Okay. I'm going to, first of all, get all my spices together. So I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of allspice. That'll be good. About a half a teaspoon of cardamom. I think it's a strong spice, so you don't want it to overpower all the other spices, so only about a half a teaspoon. That's about good. Where did my oregano go? I'm gonna do a little bit of oregano because that's a good spice in it too. Give it some more earthiness. Garlic. How can you pass up garlic? So I'm gonna do about a teaspoon of garlic powder. About a teaspoon of cumin. What else do I need? Paprika, sweet paprika. I'm gonna do about 2 teaspoons of that. And then, oh yeah, how can you forget salt? So about a teaspoon, maybe 2. And then I think I have about maybe a teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm gonna combine this all up. Stir it all together. And then I'm just gonna put it all over the chicken thigh. Get that all juiced up, all spiced up. And you wanna make sure it's really all, whoa, all covered. I don't know, can you see this? Got my coffee cup here. And I'm gonna use all of this, because not only do I want it on the front, I wanna turn these over and get them really on the underside as well. Oh, man, I can just smell the herb, the spices and everything, just so good. I mean, this will really give some flavor. I mean, all of this just did 4 chicken thighs, so if you have like 8, definitely double this whole mixture amount. Okay. Okay. Get all these spices off. Let me go wash my hands because we're gonna douse this with a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil. Okay, here's my olive oil. I'm just gonna really dollop this up. Really get that in there. Well, I should have a hand rag here. Then I'm going to squeeze some fresh lemon juice. The acidity will help with the marinade, and the acidity will help with the marinade, but also break down and tenderize the chicken. So I'm gonna cover this up with saran wrap and kind of just let this sit in the marinade for about a half hour. And in the meantime, I have rice and quinoa. I'm gonna mix the 2 together. I thought that would be a great combination, a good mixture to go with the chicken thighs. And I'm gonna add a little bit of oregano. I am going to add lots of lemon juice, parsley, sauteed onions and garlic with that. And then I might even add a little bit of cucumber in there, kind of give that freshness to it, and top it off with some parsley. So here we go. So I went ahead and started my rice and quinoa already. I tell you, as I do this, I'm not used to the daylight savings time. I feel like I'm so far behind. So 30 minutes, see ya. Okay, I'm telling you, I almost think I need my own lemon tree. I'm gonna go ahead and make this little Greek yogurt dill sauce. Chris might want it on the chicken thighs because it's got a lot of those Mediterranean spices to it. And I thought, okay, we have the rice and everything, so maybe the Greek dill sauce will be good for it. So since it's only Chris and I'm only gonna do like maybe a cup of Greek yogurt. And then I already chopped up some of my parsley here. I'll just set that aside. And now I've got some garlic. I only have about 2 small cloves of garlic. And I'm really gonna try and mince this up. If you have one of those garlic presses, which I might have one. I think I gotta clean out my pantry, tell you the truth. I'd probably use that because since this is a sauce, kind of like I don't wanna call it a dip, I'd rather call it a sauce. That you can just put on the side and take a little bit with your bite of meat. And I know Greek dishes sometimes use a lot of lamb. I had a really good friend who was Greek. Unfortunately, he passed away, I'm going to say a couple of years ago, but it's probably been like 5 or 3. It seems like yesterday. Anyway, he had his own restaurant and everything, and he served a lot of heroes. So it had a lot of lamb. Oh, so good. But anyway, I just remember having a lot of that cucumber, dill, yogurt sauce. Oh, it was so good. Anyway, I think that's about as minced up as I can get it. So I'm going to just add that to the Greek yogurt. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of olive oil. And a little bit of salt, just a little bit. A pinch of salt, maybe. I still didn't get pepper. That's okay, because I'm just going to use some ground pepper. That'll work. I got to fill up my little pepper canister here. A little pepper there. And then the juice of, I'm going to use half a lime. If I was needing more, I'd probably do 1. So we're just going to squeeze that. Tell you, I'm using a lot of lemons, but I tell you, I use a lot of lemon in cooking. Sometimes it just gives that brightness to your food. It kind of tempers down or tames flavors down in some. Now, if I had fresh dill, I would definitely add that, but I don't. So I'm just going to add dry dill to this. And so this will have a chance to sit a little bit. And if you really wanted to make this a little chunky, I tell you the truth, since we're going to have cucumbers in the salad, I wasn't going to put it in here. But you could really chop up some cucumbers really fine and add it to this. Stir it up here. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is good. In fact, I wouldn't mind adding just a, can I squeeze any more lemon juice out of this? Maybe get some of the seeds out of it. Just a little bit more. Oh, this is very good. I'm liking it. Okay, I'm gonna run and get some dill because I forgot to get it. Okay, I went ahead and got some dill. Like I said, I would love it if I had fresh. So I'm definitely gonna add at least a teaspoon. Get that all mixed in. And then I'll set this aside while I cook the meat. And then that way this will have a chance to kind of settle down and get all the flavors. Okay. I'm just going to put just a little sprinkle of parsley on it just to kind of decorate it up a little bit. So this is our Greek dill sauce for the boneless chicken thighs. Yeah, boneless, skinless chicken thighs that were just marinated in Mediterranean spices, lemon juice, olive oil. So I think it's going to taste really good. So I think what I'm going to do is, this is done, set this aside. Cook my meat, keep that warm, and then I'll finish up the rice. Okay, I think my pan is definitely ready to go here. Turn it up a little bit because I had it on low. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of grill marks. So the chicken thighs have been marinating. I took them out of the fridge just to have them rest a little bit and get a little bit closer to room temperature, because usually you don't want to cook meat right from the fridge. I think it toughens it up. So I'm just gonna kind of get the meat in there and the sauce. Okay, I can hear it. Oops. Just get some grill marks on there, hopefully. Normally I do this, well, I should say normally Chris cooks on the grill. I usually don't. That's a very time-consuming thing. And usually I'm doing a bunch of other things in between. Okay, there we go. Just kind of, I don't know, I'll save that. We'll save that and see what happens. So we're gonna, I would have to say this is probably on medium-high. Each side may take maybe about 5 minutes. These are boneless, so I think they'll cook a little bit quicker and there's no skin on it. So I'm hoping. Almost. Oh no, it's got a little bit more ways to go. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna flip them over. And they have some, ooh, they've got some grill marks on them. I'm liking it. It shouldn't take too much longer on this side before they're done. And if you do need more time, but they're brown and they've got some of the grill marks on them, I would just turn the heat down, cover them up so the chicken can cook all the way through. So, okay, I turned the meat down all the way down to low because I don't want to overcook the meat, cook it too fast or toughen it up. So I'm gonna put a foil over this and just have it continue to cook. Or if you do have, which this is not, if you do have an oven-proof grill or pan, you can always stick it in the oven. Maybe the temperature at 325, just take about maybe 10 minutes to finish cooking this. I just want to make sure I have everything else ready and that we're ready to cook. Or I'm ready to serve up, so. Okay, I just really made just a simple green salad. This is like green lettuce, and I used up some cucumbers that I had for another meal. Just chopped them up into, you know, really bite-sized pieces with a little bit of radish to it. Because I always seem to like cheese on my salad, I'm just gonna grate just a little bit Parmesan. Just a little bit, not much, just a little bit. Then in order to kind of incorporate some of the spices that I used in the meat and the Greek dill sauce, I'm just gonna sprinkle just a hint of dill on here. And then I'm gonna run and get some oregano. Oops, here I am. Just a hint. Because I want the freshness of the greens. Then I'm just gonna use a fork here just to kind of fluff it up a little bit. And I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil on this. I could have incorporated a vinaigrette, but I'm doing it this way. A few flakes of salt. And then a little squeeze again of lemon. I'm gonna cut this little knob off here on the lemon because it'll fit in this thing better, and I think I can squeeze a little bit better. Just gently, just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So this is our salad, simple. But like I said, you could put a green vegetable on it. I think with this, I don't know, shaved Brussels sprouts with maybe some fresh peas, maybe that would go good. Because I think with a hint of mint to all of that and lemon juice. And so I think that'll go well. Maybe with a little bit of walnut. So that's a green, something green that you could put with this chicken and the rice. So, but I just chose the salad. In fact, I could have put walnuts in here, or you can add walnuts to the rice. Anyway, let me get the rest of this together and clean this mess up a little bit, and we're done. Well, I think Chris is ready to eat, so I'm gonna plate the Mediterranean spice chicken thighs and the quinoa and rice. Okay, here we go. There's the rice. Then we're gonna plate the chicken over here. Oh, you can come in, babe, if you want. Okay. So look at these. I hope these are good and spiced. They smell wonderful. So this will be Chris's. And I don't think this is too hot. We'll add in, oops, some rice. And this probably would have gone well with a vegetable, but that'll be next time. So here we have it. We have boneless chicken thighs, Mediterranean spice, boneless, skinless chicken thighs with quinoa, lemon, quinoa, rice and quinoa, lemon with parsley, garlic, and onions, and then a little tossed salad. So anyway, from my little kitchen to yours, I hope you follow Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. You can find this recipe and all the other ones there, and also on my YouTube channel. So check it out and enjoy. A little sesame seed. Oops. There you go. We got Mongolian beef. Well, at least it's my version of it. So we're gonna sit down, enjoy dinner. Hey, I'm back in my little kitchen. I'm Amy Roloff, so thank you for joining me. I am going to pretty much make what I would think is a simple dinner. It's not complicated. It's kind of quick, and Chris definitely likes to have meat to every meal. So we're gonna have meat today, but I'm gonna try and come up with some non-meat dishes, especially pasta is such a good friend in that. Anyway, I'm gonna try and make a version of Magnolia. Oh my God. You know what is it with me in pronouncing words? I just don't know. Mongolian. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make Mongolian type of beef, but I'm gonna do my little variation to it. I know typically if you were to go to a restaurant, it's usually, it's beef, obviously, usually with some rice and just broccoli. But I'm also gonna add some other little vegetables to it and maybe a couple of other spices. I'm not sure. I might kind of wing it here a little bit. So definitely follow the recipe over at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen when it gets there, or on my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, to kind of get my version of it. So I had some beef in the freezer. I kind of defrosted it overnight, and this is a skirt steak. I've had skirt steak, I've had hanger steak, because I didn't have any flank steak. And typically maybe flank steak is what's used here, but I'm using what I had in my fridge. So this is skirt steak, and you can cook it up quick, and I think it'll still work and still be tender enough and not too chewy. I did go ahead and just added a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of salt and soy sauce, just to make sure that it stays tender, a little bit tender. So I got that going on here. For the vegetables, we're just gonna saute these vegetables. I've got a big bunch of broccoli, and I just bought a bag with them just like this. You can, buy the whole bunch. And if you're really good at using the stem of the broccoli, I would go that route. But a lot of times when you buy the broccoli head with the long stem, that's part of the weight. So if you're gonna just throw that stem away, I don't know, maybe it equals out that you just buy the bag of, you know, just broccoli florets. I'm gonna go ahead and add in, because it's colorful, it's pretty, it's good, a little bit of red pepper. I only have maybe about a half a red pepper here, along with just a few slices of onion that I cut in half. I thought that would be good. Of course, you have to have ginger. I'm gonna slice that up. I have some garlic here. Definitely, where did it go? Let me get it here. I love my counter, but sometimes it's too far away and I can't reach it. I've got soy sauce here. You gotta have soy sauce. What else do I have? Garlic. And I'm debating whether just, these are small little cremini mushrooms. They're small enough that I might just slice them in half and add it in here. And then I have some rice over here on the stove. Just basic white rice. Jasmine rice I think would go really well with this. And a little bit of brown sugar. I've only got a half a cup of soy sauce, but I'm gonna go with maybe 3/4. So why don't I fill up this one, this little 1/4 cup. Aren't these cute? Look at this, isn't that cute? And I love this one. Because you know what I love about these measuring cups? They have the little handle. I found this at an antique store. I don't know, maybe it was in the 50s, 60s. I feel so old. But anyway, I thought these were so cute because all of them have this little handle and it's so easy to do whatever you need to do in here and pour it or whatever you may be. So anyway, I love them. I wish a lot more measuring cups were like this. I know you can get, or, okay, wait a minute. I know, I'm deviating here. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, this one. I love this one. I can't remember where I found this one. I think it was at one of our local shops, like little local kitchen shop here. I think it was called White Birch, downtown Hillsboro. Anyway, I love this because it's kind of pretty, but it's got this really cool handle to it. I'm kind of really into, you know, that kind of thing. Because I know you can get the metal, you know, measuring cup and stuff, but I don't know. If I love my kitchen, I like, this is what I would call the little accessories. Anyway, I got a 1/4 cup here. I added a little bit more. So 3/4 cup of soy sauce over here. About a half a cup of brown sugar. I've got some garlic. I have, in fact, I got to do a little more garlic. I have probably about 3 cloves of garlic. I'm going to do 1 or 2. And then I'm going to slice up this little ginger here. And because I only have one iPhone here, maybe I'll have you, I'm going to try something new, people. Here I go. I'll slice up this ginger. Get my peeler out of the way. And I just want really thin slices, if I can. And I tried to peel this ginger as best I could. So we'll see how it goes. And of course, I know you're supposed to cut like this, but with such short fingers, sometimes I don't have a big enough grip. And because these are kind of like big slices, I might chop this up a little bit. And depending on how much ginger you want, ginger is a strong flavor and it can really, you know, give a little heat off. So I think about 5 slices is enough. So I'm just gonna chop these up a little bit. And I'm gonna add this to my garlic because in a pan, we are gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil and saute our little ginger and garlic in there. So why not just put it all in one little thing? I guess I did have a bowl over there, but anyway, let me get another garlic. I love the smell. Boy, ginger and garlic. I mean, those are pretty awesome smells. I love how it makes your kitchen feel. And Might mince this up a little bit more too. I don't know, I love garlic. But anyway, this is a dish. I mean, if you want to really make it authentic, which I guess I would have to really look on some different recipes for that. I just kind of get an idea and go with what I want. Kind of gives you the idea of Mongolian beef. I think a lot of it has to depend on the beef and the sauce that you put on the beef. And so we're gonna add that garlic. So do I got everything together here? I'm gonna save this little piece, there we go. We're gonna save this little piece of ginger, because ginger, oh, in fact, I bought this little piece of ginger from a local farmer, like a little farmer's market. A lot of different local farmers in this whole Northwest area. So I get a service called Full Circle. And so this is one of the items, plus my carrots and my red pepper were from there. So depending on, where do I want this? Okay, I'll just put that there. Sorry about that, my phone fell off the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know, do I want mushrooms? I guess we'll save mushrooms for a different thing. I'm not gonna do mushrooms. I think I decided that. And then I have, oh no, I gotta do a carrot. Forgot about another carrot. This will be my second carrot. I'm trying to cut it on a diagonal. And then I think sometimes if you have too big of a pieces, you can always cut them in half or something. I don't like it when pieces are so big. Anyway, I think that's good. So I got 2 whole carrots here. I've got pretty much a small bag of broccoli. And so we're gonna go over to the stove and do some work there. Amy Roloff's little kitchen. Okay, we're at the stove now because we've got a lot of things going on here. So I'm gonna tip the phone a little bit so you can see a little bit more. But over here, I've got my rice cooking. Over here, I'm gonna drizzle some olive oil in here and then saute my garlic and ginger a little bit. And then once that kind of becomes a little fragrant, I'm gonna add my soy sauce over here. 3/4 cup of soy sauce, see? And then my brown sugar. I may drizzle just a little bit of a little more olive oil in there and just a little bit, a hint of rice vinegar. I think that'll create some little tartness. I'm debating whether rice vinegar or lemon juice, but I think rice vinegar will be good. So anyway, let's get going. Let's drizzle some olive oil here. Get that going. I hope it's heating up good. Where's my spoon? Here it is. So we're gonna heat up some olive oil. Oh yeah, I can hear it. We're gonna dump in our garlic and ginger. I tell you, I want to redo my whole stove top here and this microwave fan. You know, this house was built in 2007. So some things are a little bit outdated, I think. In fact, I'm gonna get a little bit more olive oil in here. I don't want to fry it. I just want to like saute it a little bit. Oh man, the aroma. I love it. And I think the rice will balance this stuff out a little bit because this is going to hopefully have a lot of flavor, but also a little bit of salt. So I think the blandness or plain rice will help with that. Anyway, oh, it smells so good. Okay, the one thing I forgot to do, I forgot to tell you, is that I'm gonna add a little bit of cornstarch to the beef, and that will help thicken up the sauce as well. But it also provides a little bit of coating, and if you hopefully do it right, it won't become soggy, but maybe just that little hint of tenderizing and just, I don't know, not frying it, but anyway, it helps. Okay, this is enough. Let's add in my soy sauce. Whoa, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. I should add my fan, as Chris would say. Okay, we're gonna let this thicken up a little bit. I'm just gonna add a dab of rice vinegar. Just a little splash, that's all you need. And also all this deliciousness, because with the saltiness and tartness here, we got brown sugar, and that will help thicken it up as well. Okay. Gonna mix that all in there. Oops. Here. We're gonna mix it all in there. I don't quite want to boil it, but I definitely want a slow little rumble of a roll, just so that it helps thicken. Okay, I'm gonna let this go for a little minute. Okay, and then we're going to get going on our meat. Okay, I've got my meat all sliced up in here, and I'm just going to lightly dust it with cornstarch. I should probably get my little flour thing, a little flour shaker. I don't know where it's at. But see, just a little dicing. See, I think a little dusting of cornstarch, that's enough. I think. You don't want a lot. I don't want it overly coated. And you know what I'm thinking right now? I'm thinking, do I want to saute my vegetables first? And you know what? I think I'm going to do that first, because they're going to be quick. I don't want them overly cooked. I still want that little bit of crunch. That way I can put the vegetables back in with the meat, and it can absorb and be part of the sauce and the juices as well. So, okay, let's go back over to the stove and we'll get ready to saute the vegetables. Okay, I have my pan heating up here. I've got my soy, ginger, and garlic simmering away. Hopefully that will thicken up a little bit. And we're gonna saute the vegetables. I don't want to cook them so much that they're soft and everything. I just want a little bit, still a little bit of that bite to them. So we're gonna start with the broccoli and the carrots. Got a little bit of olive oil in here. Might need a little more. I was debating whether to do it this way or to roast them a little bit, but I decided to do it this way. This will be my same pan that I do the meat in. I could have done it, you know, separately, I guess, to save time. But obviously this broccoli is soaking up olive oil. I'll just do a little bit of salt, give it a little bit of flavor here. A little bit of pepper. This I need a big dollop. Big dollop of olive oil. Because we're going to have a lot of veggies in here. I'm going to add in my carrots. I think those will take a while to cook. And I think what's a good way to speed this up a little bit is just to saute them just enough so they, you know, kind of get that heat and some of the seasonings that you might put in here. And then you can put a lid on it and kind of like steam them. I just want to kind of layer this a little bit. Because I do have it on a high heat. I don't want really the veggies to brown. And even though you got a little bit of ginger and garlic in with the soy sauce, I don't know, I'm a fan of garlic. I might add some powdered garlic. And to give this a little heat, I might also add red pepper flakes. So as my mind is going around and around, I'm like, okay, what should I do? I'm gonna add in the peppers and the onions here. I better get a bigger bowl to combine all this. And I think what will look really good on this too as well is toasted sesame seeds. Like I said, this may not be the traditional Mongolian beef. Oops, a carrot got lost. But it's kind of like my version. I don't think I need any salt. Okay, I think I'm going to add a little bit of lid, I think I'm going to add a lid to this and just steam it for a minute. Okay, there we go. Here's my lid. Do you hear it sizzling? I mean, carrots just need to be cooked a little bit more, but it's getting there. Just gonna add a little bit of garlic because I just love it so much. And then just to give a little tad of heat to these vegetables, I'm also just going to add just a few sprinkles of pepper flakes. That's enough. I mean, I like a little heat. Chris likes a lot. So I'll just do a little bit. Okay. We're almost there. Okay, I think my vegetables have steamed and sauteed enough here. I'm going to take the lid off. Tell you the truth, I think I probably should have started the carrots first before the broccoli. I always forget. I'm just going to kind of scoop this and pour this in this bowl. Hopefully I can get all of it without having it go everywhere. Because, guys, this pan is heavy. It's heavy for my short little arms and wrist. That way, by the time when the meat is done, I'm just gonna add a little bit of olive oil. And now we're gonna get the beef. Here we go. We're gonna, here, let me get rid of this lid for a second. We are gonna just, you don't wanna crowd the beef because that way it won't, and this is skirt steak. This is not gonna take long at all. In fact, I'm just gonna use my hands. In fact, by the time I put this in there, I'll be able to turn it over. I can't remember which one I put in first. So we're gonna quickly cook each side of it. Because when you crowd the meat, they don't really brown and cook evenly, and then you got a lot of water. I'm not even sure I needed a little bit of olive oil, but I did it anyway. This is a good, oops. Sorry guys, I'm gonna turn on the fan for a minute. Okay. Since this just had the veggies in it, I'm gonna put the meat in here. Because this will finish cooking in the sauce. Okay. I think that's enough. Then we'll go for our other batch. Okay, let's go for our other batch. Just like I did the last time, I'm just gonna gently put them in there so that they can cook evenly. Make sure they lay flat and they're kind of not all over each other, or folded, I should say. Because I'm hoping I cut these thin enough. Okay. There we go. You hear it happening? Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is Sunday dinner for Chris and I tonight. Okay. I think there's a little more liquid in here than I had hoped. Yep, I can start in a brown. That's all I want. Very quick. Then I'm just going to turn them over. I did not need to salt this. I just put very little salt on it. A little bit of rice vinegar just to make sure the meat was tenderized. Because when you use different steaks, and I will admit, I'm not a, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because this will go quick. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put my other beef in here along with the juices because the cornstarch will help thicken it up when we did it earlier. And now I'm going to add this lovely sauce of soy sauce, brown sugar, a little bit of vinegar, garlic, and ginger. So we're just going to add this in here and really let the meat simmer in here a little bit so that it can kind of absorb all of these wonderful juices. Let me bring you over here for a sec. Oops, sorry about that. See how it's just swimming in there? Until this meat has absorbed this a little bit, I won't put the vegetables in there until that happens. Okay, there we go. For the amount of meat I have in here, I probably have a little more sauce than I need, but that's okay. The vegetables will take care of that. So let's just cook this for a little bit. Let it like kind of slowly bubble. And that should, whoops. And that should only take, I don't know, maybe about 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit. So we're gonna wait till it kind of absorbs some of the sauce a little bit. Okay, I think this sauce has thickened up a little bit because by time I get the vegetables in there, and I debated whether to put vegetables in here or not, but I think I'm gonna go do it. Because the beef will still be, the sauce will still be clinging to the beef. So I think I'm gonna add all in this lusciousness. And all the vegetables really need to do is just to be coated and heated up in this. There we go. My rice is done. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at all this. Oh, this will be good. Okay. I think we are going to be ready to eat. And look who just came in. I'm gonna bring y'all over here. Okay, it is done and I am ready to dish up. So hopefully Chris will be ready too. But I'll bring you guys on over here. See, look at all that. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look great? And the rice. So that, let me tilt this up just a tad.
Ready, hon?
That's what's for Sunday dinner tonight at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen.
Wow.
Oops, let me tilt you guys up a little bit more.
Oh, that smells really good.
I think Felix wants some too. Sorry, my phone might have got fogged up there a little bit. So hopefully that'll be good.
It looks good.
I tried really hard not to like overcook the vegetables, but you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, isn't this so funny? This is supposed to be 4 servings of rice. Doesn't look like it. I should have cooked more rice. Don't you think?
No, I think it's plenty. We're trying to practice portion control anyway.
I know, but with this dish, soaking up some of the juices here, this is supposed to be really good.
Well, that's plenty for me.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do on this dish too?
What?
Everyone is, what would be very nice on this dish, but I know Chris doesn't like it, is green onions, sliced up, diced up green onions would go very nice on this. Even though you've got onions in here, it would be very nice. Let me see, is this too hot? See? Look at all that lusciousness. Ooh. All right.
All right.
Can I dish you up some, babe?
Absolutely.
I know you like lots of meat.
Yeah, don't forget the beef.
Yeah, don't forget the beef. Wasn't that a commercial somewhere?
Where's the beef?
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
And then I'm gonna put a little bit of, I think I am a little fogged up there, aren't I? Am I a little fogged up? Or I need glasses. A little sesame seed. Oops. There you go. We got Mongolian beef. Well, at least it's my version of it. So we're gonna sit down, enjoy dinner, but you can find this recipe and all the other recipes at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com and also on my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. So give this a try. This is a really, really quick dinner and meal. You can serve a lot, you can make a little bit, or it depends on what you wanna do. So enjoy.
I want to eat. That's what I want.
All right, good. Get yourself a fork, babe.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do you want to cut your burger in half?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do I. Hopefully I'll be able to do this well.
Those are good.
Hey, hi everyone. I am Amy Roloff and I'm in my little kitchen. I kind of forgot that today was going to be kind of cold. In fact, the next 2 days are going to be kind of cold because I am kind of making a very easy, simple dinner for Chris and I might be having summer on my brain because we're down to like low 40s, 30 degrees. Half the country is like 2 below and I'm making hamburgers. We're going to have what I am calling ham, quotation, ham burger. So we're gonna take some ground beef. We're gonna take some, hopefully this is good, like Black Forest roasted ham, thinly sliced, some provolone cheese. I think a Swiss cheese would go good with this, or Gruyere, that kind of cheese. I don't know, I didn't pronounce that right. Some of those French words or Italian words or whatever just get me all tongue-tied. Anyway, I'm gonna put my glasses over there. So we're gonna make a hamburger for dinner tonight, and I thought, well, what can I go with it? Of course, homemade fries, or potato wedges is really what I'm gonna call them. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to, you know, just to keep the skin on, roast them up, saute with a little salt and pepper and garlic powder, and even either smoked or hot Hungarian paprika, I thought would be good as well. And for dessert, I still have my s'more cookies left over. So obviously I am really thinking about summer. So I'm gonna try and get these potatoes in the oven here, because those will take about 15, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. They're thinly sliced, so I used this kind of cutter because it has like the little ridges on it. And if you can see that, I don't know, I just thought it'd be kind of looking like a big, huge French fry. So I thought that'd be kind of cute. And then I'm just gonna create like a little spread, a little sauce for the buns. I'm gonna do a little bit of mayo, a little bit of Dijon mustard. I'm gonna chop up fine a little bit of dill pickle, some garlic powder in there, maybe hot paprika, because I think I might put smoked paprika on the fries. So we're in the middle of winter. Why not think of summer? So we're making hamburger tonight. So we're in my little kitchen and we're gonna get these fries going, because it is a summer meal in the middle of winter. Hey babe, you want some fries?
You bet, man.
I don't know, a lot of them. Chris is over there by the dining room table figuring out our big motorcycle trip that we're taking to Alaska in June. I don't know, if I think I'm cold now, ooh, gonna be a little chilly on that bike, I have a feeling. So, I mean, it's just the two of us. I don't think we need that many potatoes, probably. I wonder if I could slice this one a little thinner. I don't know if I can do it with this. Oops. I don't think I can. Well, not with that knife either. Okay, this will be good. Some of them will be a little thicker than others, but I think we'll be okay. Maybe I'll do this potato too. We're gonna cut the ends off. Okay. Just get a few more potatoes in here. We're gonna drizzle them with a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and a few seasonings. I mean, if you wanted to fry these, this would be okay too. I kind of like baked. These are russet potatoes. And for me, it's a little less work, besides having the big pot of oil. And if I had a little more time, maybe. But you know what? My oven is going to be heating up my kitchen a little bit. So I think that's pretty good. There we go. Well, you know what? If you have leftover, oops, get that pickle back here. if you have leftover fries, guess what you can do with them? Because they're already seasoned and cooked. You can chop them up and make like a little potato hash for breakfast and serve it with eggs. Sometimes leftovers make for good breakfast. Anyway, okay, here we go. We're just gonna drizzle this little sheet pan with a little bit of oil. I'm just gonna kind of mix that up a little bit. So they're kind of a little bit covered. Of course, I just got my hands all oiled and I gotta do the seasonings. But okay, there we go. We're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of garlic. So we're gonna have a little bit of garlic fries. This is my smoked. I'm making sure I get the right spice because yesterday, in fact, I'm working on this recipe. Yesterday, I made kind of like this rice bowl with fish and like a curry sauce over it with spinach and grated carrots and so forth. So I thought I was using paprika, but I actually was, you know, sprinkled a little bit of cumin in it. And I thought, okay, cumin, it's not gonna hurt anything too much. So I'm making sure I'm looking at my spices and not getting mixed up and using cinnamon. that would happen to me, people, I tell you. Okay, I got garlic powder. Oh, my salt. A little bit of salt and pepper. So I think this, well, I guess I should explain to you. Let me get this going first. Because this may take a few minutes. And Chris told me he was hungry. So I gotta get moving. Okay, here we go. I'm roasting these. Ugh. I'm roasting the potatoes on about 425 degrees, and I'm thinking they may take maybe about 15 minutes. I'll check it after 15, 20 minutes. But we're gonna get going on the rest of this dinner here. Let me throw these potato peels away. Well, one of the reasons that I was inspired about making a hamburger a little bit different is because Chris and I were filming with Zach and Tori and family, and we had ordered lunch. And so Chris and I decided to, you know, just split a hamburger, but they called it hammy burger or hammy hamburger or something like that. It was so good. I thought, oh, I could replicate this in my own way. So that's why we're doing this hamburger thing. I just thought it was very tasty. We liked it. So I'm gonna cut up this dill pickle, and you know what? This dill pickle was given to us by someone we know because she canned her own pickles, and this happens to be a dill pickle. And I thought, oh, perfect. I'll just use a dill pickle. And this is gonna be kind of our spread. I wanted to get all of this done before I got my hands into forming hamburgers. I have a little bowl here. It's just gonna be Chris and I, so I'm not gonna make a huge amount of spread for the sandwiches. And we're gonna grill the buns because I think that's always great. You know, you have this really big hamburger, and I often don't like a big hamburger on a very soft bun because it kind of smushes it and your bun goes really flat. And I think sometimes by toasting it, it kind of holds up, your bun holds up a little better. So I'm just gonna really try and mince this one dill pickle. break up some of the richness of the ham, the cheese, the burger, the beef. We're gonna add a little, dill to me is a little acidity. Along with, you know, Dijon mustard. And we're gonna have garlic floating through here because I like garlic. And I think Chris does too. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're gonna add that in there. We're gonna add in a little bit of mayo. Since it's only the two of us, I'm just gonna add, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna add in a little bit of pepper. I know the mayo already has salt plus the dill, but I'm just gonna add a dash of salt along with, what did I do on there? I did smoked. I am going to do a little bit of hot paprika. I always add in an extra vowel somehow. Who knows why? We're gonna add in a little bit of Dijon mustard. We're pretty much eyeballing it here. And a dash, boop, of Worcestershire sauce. So let's get this all. Okay, there we go. Let me taste. Oh, this is really good. It's tangy, it's very good. I'm loving the dill pickles in there. I'm gonna add just a little bit of garlic. Comes out fast. Now, sometimes I would put grilled onions on this hamburger, but Chris doesn't like onions, so I'm not gonna bother with it just for myself for tonight. So we're just gonna go on right here. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. You know what? I think I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds in there. Why? You know, I don't know. I think a little sesame seeds or flaxseed, it gives that little crunch because I do not have any sesame seeds on my bun. And I don't feel like buttering the buns and melting butter on top of them. I mean, I guess I could toast them in the oven. Okay, we're gonna, like I said I would grill onions, but I don't feel like it right now for these hamburgers. So I'm just gonna slice up as thin as possible, a few slices of onion for me. Just really thin. I was gonna use purple onions, but I don't think that'll work. I think a white onion's better. Okay, that's enough there. Okay, let's get going on making hamburgers. Okay, so making hamburgers to me is pretty basic, but you do wanna, I do anyway, I do want to salt and flavor my meat just a hint. I don't wanna over flavor it because sometimes it's not only the meat, but it's everything else that you put with it. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt to this, a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna continue on with some of the seasonings that I use for the potatoes and even for the sauce, the bread sauce or whatever you wanna call it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic, and I'm gonna go ahead and add hot Hungarian paprika. I wanna leave the smoked paprika for the potatoes. So it's very simple. I mean, if you wanna add other seasonings to this, feel free. I mean, the variations, as we know, that you could add to hamburger, it's unbelievable to me. But sometimes, simple is better. And you can make this hamburger recipe any time of the year, especially during the summer. Just a little bit of garlic there. Gotta make sure I get the right one, and a little bit of hot Hungarian paprika. And why hot? Because I think it adds just a little bit of spice. So I'm gonna break up this meat. Make sure some of this seasonings gets all spread in here. And just remember though, get to know the fat content of the meat you're working with. If you've got very little fat, that means your hamburger is not gonna shrink too much, and it's not gonna create that little bubble, you know, in the center of your hamburger. And I think I've got 90-10 here. So I've got a little bit of fat, and I think a little bit of fat, even 85-15, is really good, because as we know, that fat creates flavor in your meat. It's gonna add a little more salt here as I spread the meat, or break up the meat. Okay, I think that'll be good. And I don't want to add too much salt to this anyway, because I'm also going to put ham and cheese on top of this. All right. I think that'll be enough. And I went ahead and used my pan and toasted my buns. So they're all toasted. I think that'll be nice. That'll add that little extra crunch as well. Let me get another plate here for the hamburgers. Okay. And I usually use a plate to make my burgers, just so I get them round. I don't want these too thick, but I want them thick enough. And I'll still make that little indent in the center, because I want to make sure I don't have this little hump, little bubble in the middle of my burger. So that means everything just slides off. And I want a flat top. Make Chris's a little big. I may make that a little bigger. So I just use this is really like a plastic plate, a nice plastic plate that I got, so that I can spin it around. And you could freeform this too, but I don't know, I've just gotten in the habit of doing it this way for my kids' parties. Well, unless they had like 20 people at their birthday parties, which most of the time they did. So I should say when my kids had friends over, I made all my patties. I don't know, I just like making homemade patties all the time. I don't know, maybe it's that little extra love I felt like I put into it that made it taste better. Who knows? I just know that I like doing it. So I got 3 burgers here. We are going to get ready to fry these up. But before I fry them, I'm gonna make sure my potatoes are doing okay. One thing about roasting these too is that I'm hoping that, because I left the skin on them, that'll get a little crunchy, but the potatoes will be like soft. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands, get this out of the way, and we're gonna start cooking burgers. Okay, we're gonna get ready and cook these burgers up. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I know that this hamburger meat doesn't have a lot of fat, so I'm just gonna drizzle just a little bit of olive oil on here. And I thought it'd be kind of cool, you know, it's summertime. We might as well. Sorry guys, I gotta put my fan on. Pretend we're grilling. Okay. Oh yeah. Love that sizzle. And because the burgers don't have as much fat content as sometimes you can, well, I guess it really depends on how you like your hamburgers, but I do not want these fully cooked. I want to see just a little bit of pink. I tell you, I don't know where my spatulas went. So these will take a few minutes on each side. So here we are. We are cooking burgers. Burgers in February, a cold winter's day, but it is good anytime. I think I'll have to tell Chris we're gonna have our favorite beer with this. Oh yeah, a little bit more. Because I want these really kind of just, not crispy, but very well done, like little grill marks. I think that'll go really well. Boy, I'm used to doing something else. I'm afraid to leave these burgers or they're gonna burn or cook too much. Let's see. Yeah, that might be good. Oh, that's better. That's good too. I'm gonna cook this one just a little bit more. And after I get these grill marks on the other side, what I may do, because I don't want red meat in the middle, I may just cover this just a little bit to finish cooking the meat, and then we'll add the ham and the cheese on it. And I think I'm gonna double up on the cheese because I really want a melty cheese burger. Or I should say a melty ham burger that's cheesy. So I'm just gonna turn that down for a moment. Just cover it up with some foil. I just wanna make sure that the meat continues to cook without burning the outer sides of it. So we'll just give that about, I don't know, 3 more minutes. Okay, I think my burgers are pretty much done. We are going to layer this with ham. Depends on how many slices of ham you want on it. Then I'm gonna put a layer of cheese. And definitely, well, you know what? I'm just gonna do 2 layers. Oh, you know what? I didn't get enough of this stuff out. There we go. Sorry guys, I have to do a little bit of, those will be Chris's. Oh dear. Gotta hurry up here. Gonna do a little ham meat on mine. Plus a little bit more. I'm just gonna do a half, 1.5. I'm gonna do some of my Tillamook cheese. Turn that down just a tad. You know what? I forgot to add my onions to mine, so I'm just gonna... In fact, tell you the truth, I probably should have grilled some of my onions on this pan here, just to soften them up a little bit. Well, I forgot to do it, so you know what? I'm just gonna try not to burn my fingers and add it on top of my burger. Because I definitely had room in my pan. Add another thing of cheese. And so I know the burgers are done, so I'm just gonna cover this a little bit and have it melt. Now, if you have an oven safe pan, but my handle here is not oven safe, you could probably just finish these hamburgers off in the oven. But since this isn't an oven safe pan, I'm just gonna cover it. And then we're just gonna wait till the cheese is really juicy and melty. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna go and get my potatoes out, put them over here, and we're gonna build our hamburger. Okay, here we go. We got our potatoes done. We've got our hamburgers ready. The burgers are done. The cheese has melted, lettuce. Oh, got our beer going on because, come on, hamburgers or lemonade, beer, just all sounds good. So let's build our burger. So of course, obviously, you know, this isn't rocket science or anything, but this is gonna be my burger. And I'm going to have a little bit of lettuce. And I chose arugula because I love that little peppery flavor. I'm gonna put a dollop of this sauce on. And hopefully that'll get warmed up a little bit by your burger. Oh yeah, there we go. And plop. So let's get our other burger going. Look at that. Cheese has melted. We're gonna do Chris's. Hey babe.
Hello.
We got dinner going. I wasn't sure how you wanted. Of course, if I had more hands in the kitchen, which I never do because I'm usually doing videos and stuff and extra camera people, everything would just remain hot. So hopefully this is all hot still. At least the meat will be in the fries. Okay. Oh, do you want to get that stool over there, please?
Okay.
You don't want this?
No.
Okay.
And I'm taking just one burger on the plate
Okay.
to start with.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so we're just gonna do one burger on the plate. Chris doesn't want to get too tempted, people. Okay, this is my burger, babe. This is yours.
All right.
We got some fries here.
Excellent.
I put a little sriracha in the ketchup, just a little bit, but you may want more.
Okay.
And I didn't fry these because, you know,
No, they look good.
I just don't have time for that. Okay. Do you want to cut your burger in half?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do I. Hopefully I'll be able to do this well.
Those are good.
I put them on roast. Probably could have boiled them. And don't be afraid to squish down your hamburger a little bit. There we go.
Okay.
I want to see if this tastes like what we had.
Right.
I think I probably could have melted the cheese a little bit more.
I bet it's going to taste better.
But do you see those layers? The burger, the ham, and the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Yeah.
Hopefully the sauce is good. I made it up.
Mm-hmm. Better than what we had before. It's a mouthful.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. I thought toasting up the burgers helped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the hamburger bun and stuff. And cheers, babe. Sorry, I wasn't sure how you wanted your beer. Here. Cheers.
Okay.
We're going to fight over it. Anyway, this is ham burger on a cold winter's night with homemade, I guess, roasted potatoes. So go to my YouTube channel, go to my website, follow me, do this recipe, and let me know how you build your hamburger up. But I appreciate you joining us in Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen.
Great way to build a burger.
Yeah, see? Layers.
I like it.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy and I'm in my little kitchen. I'm so excited to let you know that my cookbook is here. You can get it today. It's out full of lots of recipes, memories, the recipes that I have out there on social media and my YouTube channel. You've got spaces to make notes if you change up a recipe to your preference or your family's liking. So that's one of the things I love about this too. So anyway, I'm so excited. You can get the cookbook now, today, and I hope you do. Thank you for all your support and encouragement, because now it's in cookbook form, all of my recipes that I hope you get to enjoy. So keep gathering around the table with family and friends from my little kitchen to yours.